dress styles, the food, the language. So, assalamu alaikum. In many communities, you say assalamu alaikum, people will say wa alaikum assalam. And they know that's a greeting. And they associate that's the Muslim greeting. And because they're Muslims in their neighborhood, they become familiar with that terminology. And they become familiar with other Muslim terminology. And it's our duty as a community to introduce those things into the culture. So in conclusion, we just wanted to say the negative aspects of American culture that are unacceptable to Islam, most of those are the product of an artificial fake culture that's being pushed by corporate America. So now you have this gangster culture that's just pushed to make money. So you see it in television, musical videos, and Muslims adopt that, but it's something we should push back against. Because human beings aren't supposed to be gangsters. We're supposed to be dignified human beings who respect the rights and the property of other people, and not who bully people and trample on people. And so the whole culture of pants hanging off the rear end, what does that have to do with basic human dignity? When it comes from that's prison culture, where people have been degenerated and dehumanized. Muslims should push back against that. So Muslims should accept those healthy aspects of American eating at Mickey D's. What does eating at Mickey D's have to do with Islam, when if you eat there constantly you'll die? How many of you saw Super Size Me? The guy ate there for a month, 3 days a week, he almost died. So if food will kill you, it's not from Islam, because Allah tells, Ya ayyuhan nas, khulu mimma fil ard halalan tayyiba wa la tattabi'u khutuwat ash-shaytan innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. Eat from that which is in the earth, that which is lawful and that which is pure. If something will kill you if you eat it for a year, it's not pure. It's a corporate product. So we should push back against that. And we push back by establishing our restaurants, by not supporting those things. And by doing that, we should see ourselves, and this has always been a vibrant part of American cultural life, as constituting a counterculture. In other words, a culture that pushes back against the destructive aspects of mainstream culture. And when you constitute a counterculture, you take pride in being different, because you know and you believe that different is better. So if the mainstream culture is telling girls to dress like prostitutes, the Muslim counterculture tells girls to dress like a dignified human being with hijab and nice, beautiful clothing that conceals their beauty. If the mainstream culture tells you to walk around, la ilaha illallah, to walk around with your pants hanging off your rear end and your underwear up in people's faces, as if you're advertising something, then the counterculture Muslim pulls up the pants and fastens the belt around the waist and has a dignified, you can't even walk like that. People walking, and walks with dignity, because Allah made us upright. فَسَوَّاهُ, Allah has made us upright, and pushes back and takes pride in that, because recognizing when mainstream, and not all aspects, because Christians could say what I'm saying and be valid, legitimate, but when the mainstream culture is taking people off the deep end, the Muslims should stand up with pride, with dignity, and call people back to goodness and to wholesomeness, and take pride in being different, because when mainstream means destructiveness, different means better. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Imam Zaid Shakir, for a wonderful speech. I have two questions and an announcement. Imam Zaid Shakir will be signing his book at 9:30 this evening at the Mass Youth booth, which is right outside to your left. I believe that's correct, to the left. And the book is it's called Where I'm Coming From, The Year in Review, correct? So at 9:30, he'll be signing the books, inshallah. You can go out there and purchase it. So I have two questions. One is regarding superstitions. So what do you have to say about superstitions, Brother Dr. Abdallah?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Without getting into the details of the question, lists a lot of details about things. Superstition is an aspect of many cultures. You can see it in different manifestations and so on. And it takes sometimes what is superstitious or a bad omen in one culture is a good omen in another, and so on, because this thing has absolutely no basis. And actually the Prophet ﷺ nahana Rasulullah ﷺ an al-tiyara, or the Prophet ﷺ forbade us from this thinking of something as a bad omen. And therefore, if I'm going to a job interview and somehow I passed under a ladder or something like that, then bad things are happening. The Prophet ﷺ negated this completely. And actually, if you feel this in your heart, even challenge it and go for it. Then so superstition actually has no basis. And the Prophet ﷺ told us something which is based in our aqidah and based in our practice, which is when we are hesitant, when thinking of considering something, instead of taking all this nonsense in account, we actually do the istikhara. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us, to indicate for us whether this something that we are about to do is good for us or not. And of course there's a lot of details about istikhara we don't have time for.
Thank you very much. We're supposed to end, but I'm going to make, the sister told me I have to finish, but this was a quick question regarding birthdays. This is a cultural issue. There's a lot of questions about birthdays, so Imam Zaid Shakir could address this real quickly.
Yeah, celebrating personal family birthdays, the whole industry, as we said, a lot of this culture is pushed by corporations. Muslims shouldn't involve with that. But if you use the birthday of a child as a personal, in the family matter, to associate it with religious goals, you can, for example, you're 15 today, so you should this year memorize Juz Qad Sami'a, and you should try to memorize the Arba'in Imam Nawawi, and to associate with religious goals or rites of passages, then and as a personal thing that's not a big fanfare, then there might be some good in that. Wallahu a'lam.
Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.